Hello everyone. In present video, I will discuss about Alfred Swords concept of the objective and subjective meaning. Actually, in this video, I will try to discuss how Alfred Swords used or understood the objective and subjective meaning in the context of the interpretive sociology. And interpretive sociology, what the Alfred Swords developed, because interpretive sociology is also related to Max Weber, and of course Alfred Schwartz took the idea of interpretive sociology from Max Weber, but he molded in his own way, that is from phenomenological point of view. He developed it in a different way. So in this video, I will discuss how the objective and subjective meaning is conceptualized by Max Weber's interpretive sociology and the Alfred Schwartz, the interpretive sociology of the phenomenological thought. So let's begin. Thing is that the objective meaning and subjective meaning, these two concepts are very much important, very significant for understanding interpretive sociology or sociological research as a whole. Often, the students, researchers, academicians, even academicians, very senior academicians, do commit mistake by wrongly interpreting the objective meaning and subjective meaning. So here I will try to explain from my own understanding, from the book of the Alfred Schwartz, the life world, the phenomenology of the social world. So my understanding, my explanation is from his own book, the phenomenology of the social world. So keep connected, I'm going to explain it. So here, three important things you keep in mind. One is meaning, second is action, third is actor. There is meaning of the action. Action is action of, means the actor's action. So meaning, action and actor. There is one individual is actor. So individual is actor who do action and which has a meaning. So meaning of the action and actor who performs the action. So three things. So these three things will be involved in understanding objective and subjective meaning. That's why I mentioned it very first. So first I will try to understand how Max Weber's interpretive sociology understands the objective and subjective meanings. Here Max Weber's interpretive sociology believes that the meaning that attaches by the individual or actor is the subjective meaning, and meaning that gives by the others, that is observers, is the objective meaning. Now how it happens, that I am explaining. Suppose one person, one individual or actor, and whose action has certain meaning, that is who is acted or who is acting or who is performing certain thing which has a meaning. Now during this action, another person observed it. One person is the normal common person, and another person is the sociologist who believes in the interpretative sociology. So two person who observe, one is common person, another one is sociologist who believe in the interpretive sociology, and one person who is acting. That means three person, one who is acting and another two person who are observing. Now according to interpretive sociology of Max Weber, these two person who are observing gives two meaning by their own interpretation. They gives two meaning to the action of the actor who is doing it. So common person gives according to his own experience of the life world, and sociologist of interpretive sociological thought gives the meaning according to the ideal typical meaning, that he framed from this action, what he knows as a meaning of from this action. So accordingly he observes and gives a meaning. So according to Max Weber's interpretive sociology, the meaning that gives by the observer is the objective meaning, and meaning that actually attaches by the actor there is individual is the subjective meaning. So here clearly it's coming out. There is subjective meaning is the meaning which is giving or which is attaching by the individual himself or herself, that is the actor, and the observing, that those who are observing, even the common person and the sociologist, and giving meaning is the objective meaning. But here the Alfred Schultz pointed out the limitations. Alfred Schultz took a different dimension. He used the Husserlian, the idea of the meaning. So this idea I will discuss now. But Alfred Schultz believes that the action, that is the interpretation of the observer, that is two observer, one is common person, another one is sociologist, who observed. According to Alfred Schultz, their interpretation, their giving of meaning is also the subjective meaning. It is also the subjective meaning. Their providing of meaning to the action of the individual is also the subjective meaning. Why? Because according to him, their observation, it is the observation, their action of observing is their own subjective. Means they observed according to their own way, according to their own experiences of the world around them, and according to the knowledge, the common knowledge they have regarding the society, regarding the world around them. So their action of observing is their own subjective. So their giving of meaning is their own subjective meaning. That is the meaning that provides by the common person is his or her own subjective meaning. The meaning that gives by the sociologist is also his or her own meaning, and one meaning that attaches by the individual himself or herself. So there are three different dimension of subjective meaning. So the thing is that the meaning that comes from one's own experiences. Now question is, there are other peoples, individuals in the society, and who shares the same world. The world is one, the outer world is one, external world is one. There are numbers of such peoples who shares the similar world. So ultimately, who also experiences similar kind of situations, similar kind of actions, similar kind of meanings they may also provide. So that is why the action of observing and giving meaning after observing someone is also related to the person or individual who is acting. But actual meaning knows by the person or actor himself or herself. But observing the action and providing meaning is also not completely irrelevant or completely in isolated way, or not in complete isolation. Rather, it is related, because observers and actors belongs to the same world, and the external world is one, as I said before, and they shares the similar experiences. That's why the meanings that may be stocked there in the society, meanings that may be already produced, already established in the society, that this particular act may have this kind of meaning. So accordingly the person is observing. Sociologist is observing on the basis of the ideal type. Okay, this is the action, this action may have this meaning. This is the from technical point of view, from interpretative point of view, from ideal typical point of view. The person is thinking, the sociologist is thinking, okay, this action has this meaning. So point is that these meaning providing with the observer is also the subjective meaning, and the meaning that gives by the actor himself is also the subjective meaning. But there exists a variation of the subjective meaning. Now what is the objective meaning, that I will discuss now. So before explaining what is objective meaning according to Alfred Schultz, I am giving an example. Say for example, you are a boss, or a officer, or the in charge of any particular office, and under you many people are working. Now in a moment, in a situation, you are very much annoyed, angry, and the shouting over 2-3 persons. Shouting over means maybe one person, maybe more than one person, for a reason, for something that has not been done as your expectation, according to your expectation. That's why you are shouting over them. Now, two observers here observing this, who are not related to your office, who are not related to your employee, or nor your work, anything else. They are just observing. Out of these two, one is the common person, another one is sociologist. Now, these two person will interpret your action in a different way. Common persons may interpret your shouting as the attitude, as a attitude of the boss or the employee, or maybe the exploitation of the boss over the employee, or the fault of the employee. Different kinds of meanings may come out. Now, interesting thing is that how do this common person who is observing knows these meanings? Because he or she may have also experienced these things. Because as I said before, this common world is one, external world is one. Whatever meanings comes out, it goes, it prevails in the space, and this space is sharing by all. There is space of the social world, and whatever meanings comes out in the world is sharing by all of us. That's why the interpretation of your action is being able to means the made by observer in different way, but you may have a different meaning. His interpretation may be similar to you or may not be, but it is not completely dissimilar also. So this is how he may interpret, and his interpretation is also his own subjective meaning giving. There is subjective meaning providing, because he is providing the meaning to his own action of observing your action. Another person is sociologist, who is also observing, but whose observation is different, who is observing according to the ideal typical way. Ideal type says means ideal typical format, behavior in office. That is how behavior in office should be. So office's conduct is that employees must follow the officers or the heads, the instructions. So why you are shouting? Maybe the employees have not fulfilled the expected role performance. That's why you are shouting. That's why you are angry, annoyed. This is the ideal typical interpretation, and it may be the same, but it cannot be also. So based on the own experiences, based on own the theoretical or conceptual idea, the observers interpret the meaning, but the meanings don't come out of the world, from different planets or from different the system. It actually derives from the same world, from where you live, the others people live, the observers live, the actors live. So that's why this phenomena, according to Alfred Suri, is called intersubjective phenomena. Intersubjective phenomena, that is, the action which is giving by you is also intersubjective meaning, and those who are interpreting and providing meaning may not be same to you, but it is also the subjective meaning, because their subjective interpretation of their own action of observing you is also related to the world around you, or us, the world where we live together, the meaning that we share every day, the world that we experiences every day. That's why it is intersubjective phenomena. Now, point is objective meaning. So whenever we talk about objective meaning, according to Alfred Schultz, we do not just try to understand the context. We also try to get or understand the other objectivities, other objective elements. What are these elements? Expression, symbols, the meaning, the pronunciations, maybe the pronunciation of the word, the expression of the word, symbols uses in the communication. These elements are also uses uses to understand the objectivity of the meaning. There is objective meaning of any particular action. That's when an action has a particular way of expression, a particular way of the manifestation, and use a particular symbol. So this becomes a objective, meaningful or meaning oriented action. It can also be said as a linguistic expression. There is a particular word is uses for a particular meaning. For example, here I am giving one example, and this example is related to Indian culture. That is this one. Anyone can understand this. This means namaskar. There is a greeting, a particular way of greeting, and this is the Indian heritage culture. Now, if anyone see you like this, if anyone observe you like this in front of others or in front of any statue, what does it mean? It definitely means that you are greeting someone, or you are showing respect to a dead person, or the soul of the person, or maybe the mortal remains, or maybe the statue, whatever it is. You see how symbols or particular way of expression, particular way of greetings is giving a meaning. This is what objective meaning is all about. There is a particular action has a particular way of expression or manifestation and particular way of doing it, and it has a particular symbol. Just by pronouncing namaskar is not sufficient. You have to show or use the symbol. You have to express like this. That means you are greeting someone, whoever it may be. So you see, one is the word namaskar, then your way of expression. This is a way of expression, and also the symbol of namaskar. So this all 3-4 things makes together an action called greeting of Indian culture. So this is objective meaning. This is objective meaning. Anyone knows, even if the peoples who are not from Indian culture also knows. How? Because of different informations, different the resources, different the different hub of the informations like internet and all. So there are many such examples are there. There are many such examples are there. If you want to call someone, so you pick the name, you ask the name, or you call the name. And on the other hand, you also use your hand like this. Means what? That you are calling the person towards you. That you have some work, you are calling. Maybe the person is far away from you. You are calling, you are using the name loudly, and also you are using this. That means you come here. So this is objective meaning. This phenomena, if anyone observes, will certainly give the meaning that this person is calling that person. So there are certain examples. Suppose when the teachers enters in the class, particularly in the Indian culture, the student stands up. If any individuals who observe this phenomena from particularly from India, they automatically understand, okay, this is the class timing, and teachers entering the class, students are standing up. That means these are students, and he is or she is the teacher, and there is a class time, and class will go on, and this is the situation like this. So automatically the interpretation or meaning will be derived. Why? Because already meaning is attached. The ideal typical meaning is attached. This is objective meaning. That means it has a symbol, standing up, expression, manifestation, that is standing up, giving good morning or namaskar, greeting, and then once the teacher enters and say you can sit down, then students may sit down. So this complete action is the objectively fixed. So anyone can understand from the observing these things. So basically, according to the Surge, the linguistic expression is objective meaning, and he used Husserlian idea. Husserl basically divided the objective meaning means the meaning into two types. There is one is meaning as act, and another one is meaning as the meaning as given. The meaning as given is the objective meaning, that meaning which is given already through this objective expression. And meaning as action is something which is subjective, that the action of the individual, that is action that I provides, and action of the observing my action by other peoples, and give the interpretation of their one, that is based on their own experiences. So this is what the intersubjective phenomena, that is the the meaning as action, and meaning as the given is the objective meaning. So I hope you understood all, and keep connected, and subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed it. Put your comment if you have anything to say. Thank you very much.